ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। 37 यत्तदग्रे विषमिव
यत्तदग्रे विषमिव
परिणामे मृतोपमम्
परिणामे मृतोपमम्
तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम्
तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम्
आत्मबुद्धिप्रसादजम्
आत्मबुद्धिप्रसादजम्
विषयेन्द्रियसंयोगात्
विषयेन्द्रियसंयोगात्
यत्तदग्रे मृतोपमम्
यत्तदग्रे मृतोपमम्
परिणामे विषमिव
परिणामे विषमिव
तत्सुखं राजसंस्मृतम्
तत्सुखं राजसंस्मृतम्
यदग्रे चानुबन्धे च
यदग्रे चानुबन्धे च
सुखं मोहनमात्मनः
सुखं मोहनमात्मनः
निद्रालस्य निद्रालस्य प्रमादोत्थम्
निद्रालस्य प्रमादोत्तम्
तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्
तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्
न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा
न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा
दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः
दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः
सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तम्
सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तम्
यदेभिः स्यात्त्रिभिर्गुणैः
यथेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः
ब्राह्मणक्षत्रियविषाम्
ब्राह्मणक्षत्रियविषाम्
शूद्राणां च परन्तप
शूद्राणां च परन्तप
कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि
कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि
स्वभावप्रभवैर्गुणैः
स्वभावप्रभवैर्गुणैः
शमोदमस्तपः शौचम्
शमोदमस्तपः शौचम्
क्षान्तिरार्जवमेव च
क्षान्तिरार्जवमेव च
ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यम्
ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यम्
ब्रह्म कर्म स्वभावजम्.
ब्रह्मकर्म स्वभावजम्.
So by shloka number 40, Sri Krishna had completed some categorizations of 7 topics. Buddhihi, Dhritihi, Sukham, all this we saw. Then he's taking up the same Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga topic, because those are the only 2 topics of the Bhagavad Gita with a different angle. So here he is going to tell us about, started telling us in 41 about our own duty. Swadharma. He is going to come back to Swadharma eventually. Because Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is a Swadharma classification. Those are the pillars of any society. And so he is giving that beautiful statements he is making here. And having stated those 4 Brahmana, Kshatriya in 41, he is telling, what do I mean by Brahmana karma? What do I mean by that? Okay, that's what he's saying here. So in this context, we were looking at last time, Jnanam Vijnanam. So we took the opportunity to see what this Jnanam Vijnanam might mean. Clearly, an attribute of Brahmana karma is using the mind. Jnanam Vijnanam, 2 times it has come. And we'll see as we go down the list, then Shudra karma is any activity that does not require thinking or requires very minimal thinking. That's the Shudra. That's why we say follower. Person follows. He's a service. He does service to society. Everybody does service, but this person is literally serves the society, does what he's asked to do, she's asked to do. And so these are the pillars of any society. You know that very well. So we were looking at Jnanam Vijnanam. Angani Angani Vedas Chatvaraha Mimamsa Nyaya Vistaraha Puranam Dharmashastrancha Vidyas Chaturdasha Vidyasthanani Chaturdasha or Vidyakyetas Chaturdasha. We were looking at that. So if you ask, what karma requires thinking, serious thinking, then that karma is called a Brahmana karma for any society. Every society needs Brahmana karma. People who are thinkers of the society, the think tanks of the society. And so that is Brahmana karma. That is how I look at it. So he is saying right here, Jnanam Vijnanam. So in our society, Sangopanga Vedadhyayi, that person has to be. So the pinnacle, the top of that Brahmana karma is somebody who says Sangopanga Vedadhyayi. How do you produce the society? The country has to produce Sangopanga Vedadhyayis. This is what we were talking about last time. So what kind of training we give our people to produce such people? So it's all being done by individual ashrams, individuals, and things like that. So those who study it and those who love to study like this, and then they end up in that stream. Okay, that's one explanation for Brahmana karma. Then you can imagine now, every field needs such people. Every field of study, sciences, needs people who dedicate themselves to growing and supporting and nourishing that knowledge base, that encyclopedia of knowledge. Okay. And so every field, medical field also it is there, any other field, engineering field, many fields of engineering, subfields are there, newer fields are coming up. Initially, the newer field like neurology was a very new field. So they have to put it in one of the known sciences, like psychology. And then suddenly it becomes bigger and bigger, and somebody decides, you know what, neurology is a separate field. It should not be part of psychology because there is enough database, enough knowledge base is there. And then conference on neurology itself you can have. Previously, it was one of the tracks within the psychology conference. Now it's a separate conference itself. Okay, separate encyclopedia. Everything is there because it's a science on its own. Like that, it grows. They also have to dedicate themselves. Those people who edit journals, people who produce research papers, run labs, etc. Yeah, they also have certain attributes. Many of the attributes that are going to be discussed here. Shama, look at that. Damaha, Tapaha, Shaucham. They also have to have it. If they don't have these things, the knowledge they produce will be used by wrong hands, or the knowledge will be contaminated. Means what? It's like doing research, but then not being truthful about the results. Correct? A lot of pharmaceutical output is like that because they produce these, they invent these drugs, and they will hide some of the side effects. So that's why they have all these fine print they have in these advertisements. And if you carefully look at it, you'll see all the data. That's how it should be. So, hey, this is a great drug, but be cautious. These are the side effects. So that requires a lot of discipline. And that discipline, tapaha, discipline. Discipline. Because that's the price to pay for being truthful. That's the price to pay for growing the knowledge. That's the price to pay for gaining the knowledge. Okay. It is only our Shastram that formalizes this idea. Shamaha Damaha. What is this? Wherever we go, it's coming. One of the first jobs I got in the US was hired by a pharmaceutical job from a pharmaceutical company. I have nothing to do with pharmacy, okay? But this pharmaceutical company hired me. They gave me a job offer. They interviewed me. I went to their facility in Chicago and all. And they liked what I did, and they gave me a job also. And what do I have to do with pharmacy? They see the pharmacy, or the thing is, pharmaceutical companies, they develop drugs, and then they have to test the drugs, and then there is a cycle, and then they have to go through the process, and then FDA and all comes into the picture, and then the government body approves the drugs. Only if it is approved, it can be a drug. Only then it can start making money for the company. So they want to speed up the process. They want to do things on the computer, simulation, modeling, which can do things much faster than you can do on a lab. That's where I stepped in. And so I was supposed to be an expert in modeling. And so all the components, chemical components, species, you see big names. Pantoprazole, paracetamol, these are all compounds. There is a structure for these chemicals. They are all chemicals. And so you can put those in the computer, and you can make the computer do certain things by which you can predict what products can come. You can predict the physical and chemical properties of the product even before it's actually made in the lab. Even one molecule is made in the lab. Before that itself, you can do a lot on the computer. This is where they wanted me to work on. And so that means what? These people are those who are able to think through and find alternatives, find other solutions, other ways of doing things. Okay, that's how every company needs that. Every company needs that. People who are doing research, people who are fueling the engine of innovation. Okay, innovation, that kind of stuff. So that is Brahmana karma, thinking, primarily thinking. Okay. So we saw all this last time. And so that is Jnanam Vijnanam. And we saw 2 or 3 ways of interpreting the words. And you look at Shankaracharya, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything about Jnana Vidya. I think he must have felt that, we have done it enough times. And and so he just said, no, we are all good students. So I don't need to explain to you all that. So in that chapter, in the 7th chapter, Jnanam and Vijnanam, we saw it was Saguna Brahma Jnanam and Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. Later on, Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti, like this we saw. Or Samana Jnanam and Vishesha Jnanam. We saw all these things last time. So you can see, that's why this is very interesting. Shamaha, mastery of the mind. Damaha, mastery of the sense pursuits, sense organs. No company will advertise when they are looking for this kind of scientists. They won't say you must need Shama, Dama. They won't say all that. They will ask for their accomplishments. Your resume should list all accomplishments. That's all. But then they may ask questions like, how do you resolve conflicts? Quietly, one question will come. How do you resolve conflicts? What conflicts? You can't say what conflicts and all. You have to understand what the question means. Immediately start answering. What do you mean by conflict? Can't say. Conflict means 2 bosses are saying 2 different things. In a team discussion, one half is saying something, another half is saying something else. How are you going to resolve the conflict? Okay, these questions they will ask. So then some of the good companies will try to find out if the candidate has qualities of sharing. How do you help your colleagues? Without asking that question, they'll try to find an answer for that. So, Shamaha, Damaha, Tapaha, get that. Austerities. Austerity means don't think you have to do Sirishasana and all that. Austerity is not that. See, the comics, that's how we saw. They're all sitting, and all ant hills are all coming on top of this guy, and he's not seen anymore. Still meditating. Not like that. Tapaha means even basic things. Vak tapas is there. Are you speaking the truth? That is tapas. That itself is enough. So difficult it is to speak the truth. That's it. Compassion. Are you compassionate? Ahimsa. This is all tapas. Requires a lot of tapas. And that is tapas here. Hoarding. Giving. Okay. Are you secure about the future or insecure about the future? Tapas is required to be secure about ourselves. So, tapaha. Shaucham. Shaucham. We saw all these things before. So, more than physical cleanliness, internal cleanliness means antakarana shuddhihi, kshantihi. Ability to put up with inconveniences, ability to put up with difficulties, knowing that these things will come and go, and I should not react to everything. That is called shantihi. Arjavam also we saw before. Okay. So, integrity. It's a good, closest word I think we can say for Arjavam. And thought, alignment of thought, word, and deed. Straightness, that is called Arjavam. Chapter 13, we saw that. Jnanam, Vijnanam, we spent a good bit of time on that. Astikyam, Astiti Bhavaha, Astikyam. And so, Veda is the pramanam for all the things it talks about. That Shraddha in the Veda is called Astikyam. In our context, that's the way we should take it. Veda eva moksha pramanam iti. That is called Astikyam. That is why we have people like Buddhas, Jainas and all who are not Astikas. Were part of the Sanatana Dharma, but they are not Astikas. They don't consider the Veda as a pramana. And so, there was a Jain leader in Houston, and I was doing projects there. community projects. And I didn't know about Jainism and all that much at that time. But he used to like what I was doing, teaching classes, community programs and all. He used to even support. But he was doing some other projects for sustaining Jainism and creating interdisciplinary programs of Jainism, inviting Jain scholars from India, supporting them, and then sending American Jains to India. They used to do all that projects he was doing. But they are Nastikas, okay? Just for us to understand. Anyway, so the demands are quite high for a person, for this kind of a Brahma karma. Brahma karma means Brahmana karma. Brahma karma. Swabhavajam. A person for whom these are naturally happening. Swabhavajam. Okay. That person, that kind of a karma is called Brahma karma, and that person is called a Brahmana. The word Brahmana appears in Shloka number 41. Okay. All right. Let's look at the translation. So Swami uses the word endangered species, Brahmana, endangered species. So we hope our government gets its act together and supports Veda Pathshalas and supports Indian knowledge system. These days, IKS is a very big word. I don't know if you all have noticed or not. IKS, it's called Indian Knowledge Systems. That's what they call it. And so we'll see where that goes. Composure, sense restraint, composure, sense restraint, religious discipline, composure, sense restraint, religious discipline, inner and external cleanliness. The words inner and external in brackets. Okay. Inner and external cleanliness, accommodation, straightforwardness, Arjavam. We will say Jnanam, Vijnanam. We won't translate that. Jnanam, Vijnanam. And accepting the veracity of the Vedas. Veracity, Veracity, means accepting the Vedas as true.
Authority.
Authority, I'm not sure of the word. The truthfulness, if truthfulness comes in authority, then that word may be okay. But we can have authority without truthfulness also. But yeah, because they are truthful, it is the authority. That's the way to understand. Yeah. Okay, accepting the veracity of the Vedas are collectively the duties collectively within brackets, born of nature or naturally born of nature of a Brahmana. Okay. Composure, sense restraint, religious discipline, inner and external cleanliness, accommodation, straightforwardness, jnanam, vijnanam, and accepting the veracity of the Vedas are collectively the duties born of nature of a Brahmana. Okay. Next. Shauryam tejo dhritir
Shauryam tejo dhritirdakshyam
Yuddhe chapyapalayanam
Yuddhe chapyapalayanam
Dhanam Ishvara Bhavascha
Dhanam Ishvara Bhavascha
Kshatram Karma Swabhavajam
Kshatram Karma Svabhavajam
Shauryam Tejo Dhritir Dakshyam
Shauryam Tejo Dhritirdakshyam
Yuddhe Chapyapalayanam
Yuddhe Chapyapalayanam
Dhanam Ishvara Bhavascha
Dhanam Ishvara Bhavascha
Kshatram Karma Swabhavajam.
Kshatram Karma Svabhavajam.
Yeah. Kshatram Karma. The karma which has the adjective kshatram. Kshatram here means kshatriya karma. That is the meaning. Kshatram is also used. That word is also used in our shastram often. So he is defining kshatram karma. That also is swabhavajam. It's naturally coming to a person. And so you can see in a family, children are growing up, and you can see each children. Parents will love to see that. Children having different interests. And it's important to see how those interests manifest in the child and allow the child to follow that interest. And as opposed to trying to bracket them in some kind of idea that we have. And then allow them to pursue their interest. That is the best way. That is really the best way for a child to become a happy adult, right? If you force the child to do certain things due to our own insecurity, parents' own insecurity, then we are asking for trouble. We're asking for trouble. That's what this one is saying. Krishna is saying that Swabhavacham should come naturally. Don't force something. No, you should study computer science. What will you do if you study psychology? Huh? What will you do with it? Parents know I have no idea of psychology. They know only computer science, they know only engineering, they know only medicine. So anything else is bad field. Huh? That's it, over. Architecture. Suppose the boy is very good architect. He loves to draw and he's designing stuff. Hey, he will be a natural architect. So have him study architecture and let him design buildings and bridges. That's how you should see it. What is right or wrong about all these things? Krishna is saying there is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. Swabhavajam is what he's highlighting. Whatever comes naturally, allow it to flower. And so, Swamiji gives the example of the courses, the ashram, the courses that we studied 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, like that. He says, but Chinmayananda, Swami Dayananda ji designed that course in Chinmaya Mission in Sandipani. Okay? That's how all these courses started. And he says, Swamiji, Chinmayananda ji used to say, tell all the brahmacharis and married and unmarried people studying, he used to say, it seems, that, when you're here, you concentrate on the study. You've come here to study. And so we are going to give you what we want to do. Don't worry about your future, what to kya karunga main and all that. If you want a job in the future, I'll get you a job. Okay? I'll get you a job. You don't worry about the future. I'll tell you, I have connections, I'll get you a job. Or job is not a problem, but some single people are there. Should I get married or not? Don't worry. If you want to get married, I will find a girl for you. I'll find a boy for you. That's how it seems he used to talk. Don't worry. Just focus on this and then I'll take care of everything. Or if you want to stay back because you love this so much and you feel like shifting your focus is the best thing for you, that also is fine. And if that happens, because that shows Swabhavajam, what is the Swabhava of the person, the Swamis will go along with it. The Swamis must go along with that. Swami shouldn't say, you're studying so well, come, you should stay back in the ashram for the next 2 years. You study Brahma Sutram, you study this. No, you can't do that. It's only meant for whoever is interested in that. And so, and for those who want to stay also, then they don't become sannyasis. You study a little more, maybe some people will get a Diksha. It's called Chaitanya Diksha, Brahmachari Diksha. Like our Ananta Chaitanya is there. Chaitanya, they get a name. So it is like a transition period. Swamiji uses the word apprentice, probation, probationary period. Not probation, but the period where you're neither a sannyasi nor what you were before. And so brahmachari. A married person can also become a quote-unquote brahmachari. And so that's the transition period. If you still like that, then sannyasa is there anyway. So sannyasa doesn't require any big capitation fees and all that. You know, this sannyasa is waiting. As long as the acharya is there, who can bless us, then sannyasa is ready. And so, like that here also, this brahmana karma is there. Okay, that's not the right thing for you. What is your swabhava? Your swabhava is shauryam, kshatra karma. What is kshatra karma? Krishna is saying. Broad classification, right? That ability, that connection with dharma. I want to protect dharma because there are punishing wrongdoers, governing, making things smooth administrationally for people of the country, of the society. That kind of, the mind goes towards that. Goes towards that. I've seen in America also, I've seen growing children, and there's some people like to go to government jobs and public policy, administration. They get into government, governing, you know, they get. Some of the boys I knew and girls I knew joined the political campaigns and all that. Presidential campaigns. He was there part of the presidential campaign team. And the parents were jittery. They were doing, what is this guy doing? What do you mean, what is this guy doing? He's serving the country. You have to be very happy at this. And they realized, yeah, correct. I'm very happy about that. So, maintaining law and order, etc., all that comes into this kshatra karma. So, what do you need for this kind of a karma? Shauryam. Shauryam. Even ability to enter war if needed. I mean, that's the extent to which a kshatriya karma goes into. And that fearlessness has to be there. Shauryam, courage, and that heroism, valor. That's called Shaurya. Shaurya. You know, I saw there is people known to us, and then they got married. That girl had a child, and then the child, the husband is from one of the Maratha family, Rajput family, like that. And this son, boy, he is only hardly 3 years old. This guy, look at what is there in his blood. This guy, the dog normally will chase human beings. This guy chases dogs. This guy is chasing dogs. His name is Veer. His name is Veer. That also is there. Veer. Veer is chasing dogs. Normally the dogs will come and touch you and grab you and all that. No. The Veer is grabbing dogs. Veer is hugging dogs. Veer is strangulating dogs. This is unbelievable. And like this, it's going. It's a completely reverse. It is. It's a like our Bharata, Dushyant, Shakuntala, Bharata. You know, playing with lions and all that. That's the blood. It's there in the blood. And so tejaha, tejaha means that again, shauryam, courage. Tejaha also related. Means no fearlessness, not being cowed down, not being overwhelmed, not allowing oneself to be victimized. This idea of victimhood never comes. That is called tejaha. That's called tejaha. Okay, the capacity to, if needed, to capacity to overpower the other party. Okay, you can't allow yourself to be, made afraid and things like that. So that is called tejaha. Dhritihi, we've seen this also, perseverance, determination, willpower, etc. We saw that in detail also. Dakshyam, dakshaha, dakshatvam, dakshyam, dakshinamurti, all connected. All these words are connected. Daksha means what? Daksha means samartha. Samarthyam is the meaning of dakshyam. Samarthyam. So that ability to think on the feet. The guy is resourceful. Resourcefulness, skill, expertise, all words come under dakshyam. You've seen this, during Corona and other times, you've seen army and all these people getting into action. And they have to quickly act, move stuff. During emergencies, the army comes, BSF comes, border security force, they have to immediately do stuff. Bridge is broken. Immediately you have to construct a bridge until the real bridge comes. They do all these things. Get your wood, cut the trees, do something and create a bridge. That's called resourcefulness. That is called this dakshyam. Dakshinamurti dakshyam. Same word we use. Dakshaha, samarthaha, dakshascha, amurtischa. There also we say this guy is an expert. Dakshinamurti is an expert. Expertise in what? Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. That expertise is what we should talk about there. Aishwaryascha samagrascha Viryam yashashasriyaha Jnana vairagya yoschaiva Shannam bhaga itirana. Long ago we saw this. Correct definition of Bhagavan. We saw that long ago. Bhaga. One of them is Viryam. Aishwaryam. Viryam. Next one is Viryam. That Viryam is what? This Samarthyam. Srishti Sthiti Laya Samarthyam is called Viryam. There. So here also for a Kshatriya, resourcefulness is needed. And so dexterity, can use all these. These are the words to use here. All right. Adroitness. There's another word. Adroit is there. Dexterity. That's what it means. You have all these different words. Yuddhe cha api apalayanam. Yuddhe cha api apalayanam. Palayanam means running away. Palayanam. Retreating. There is a conflicting situation, you just quietly walk away from there. Oh, it's not for me. It's a problem. So that's opposite of apalayanam. A Kshatriya will never walk away from conflict. No running away. And battlefield means again no running away. Do or die. That's called apalayanam. Maybe Krishna is hinting here. Krishna is maybe hinting. Just in case, Arjuna, in case you know who you are. So if you are a Kshatriya, if you think you are a Kshatriya, then apalayanam is important. And what you are doing is the opposite of apalayanam. Okay? Yuddhe cha, in war, in the battlefield. And here Bhagavad Gita is being taught in Kurukshetra, not in Zoom Kshetra. We are doing Zoom Kshetra. So there it is Kurukshetra. So it's all different, very different. Easy to talk and go away. Dhanam. Giving. Kshatriya Dharma. Look at that. He brings it here. A Kshatriya is not somebody who wants to hoard and things, because society, his look is society based. He's looking for the good of all. Looking for the good of all. And so Dhanam is an important characteristic. And so that's why kings those days and today also all governing bodies should do this, promoting science, arts, research institutions, and Veda Patashalas. They are the ones who should do all this. They have to be the patrons, primary patrons of all these arts, which they know in their heart of hearts. They know that I am the one who should support it. Otherwise, how will they need a house to have all these classes? They need a room at least. They are not earning money, they're teaching. Therefore, somebody else has to provide the resources. And so, the resource provider, the Kshatriya has to be the resource provider. And they are the ones who support Goshalas. Goshala, I asked somebody, there's running a Veda Patashala. And those days, Veda Patashalas had cows in the same complex, in the same, so that, there's mutual well-being. Cow will give milk. Milk is an important ingredient in the life of Vaidika. And even for yagas, ghee and all is needed. And you can't simply buy ghee. It's very expensive. And so cow was to be there. And there's here, that person was afraid of having a Goshala because you need a person to maintain the Goshala. I have to pay 15,000 rupees for this person, like that he said. And so one cow I may be able to manage, but beyond that I can't, like that he said. So these kinds of things. And if there are jnanis, sannyasis, then only a Kshatriya can protect society. The government has to protect all these things. So, Ishvara Bhavaha Cha. Ishvara Bhava. Again, going back to that definition. Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryam, like that. Ishvara Bhavaha, Krishna is saying. Ishvara Bhavaha. So that leadership, in one word, you want to translate that leadership. So that person has to exude confidence and say, yeah, we can solve the problem. Come on, let's do it. That guy has to be able to say that. That leadership is Ishvara Bhava. Very interesting word. Ishvara Bhava. And so Swami even says this. He says these people, they have to eat well and maintain their bodies. They must have good bodies. Because war and all he's talking about. And so it's not that somebody who's thin may not have these qualities, but physical work is also required. And so that's why they used to also say, even they can consume meat consumption allowed for Kshatriyas. Within reason, meat consumption is allowed. So how about everybody else? A popular question, vegetarianism. Why should meat not be consumed? Why does Hinduism say that? Should we apply it for everybody, all Hindus or not? All these questions come. All these questions come. Very relevant questions, of course. The answer is indicated in the shlokas. Brahmana ahimsa, committed to ahimsa. Everybody is committed to ahimsa. Even a Kshatriya is committed to ahimsa. But Kshatriya can go to war in order to protect ahimsa. Okay, in order to minimize himsa, he'll have to go to war and kill 1 million people. That also is allowed. But a Brahmana is almost bordering absolute ahimsa, bordering. And so that includes plants also, that includes animals for sure. Dharma Shastram says the Brahmana has to be compassionate, very compassionate. And ahimsa is listed there in the Dharma Shastra. Gautama's Dharma Shastra, if you look, I had made some note, Shloka number 26, 94 of some chapter and all I've written. If I find out, I'll let you know. So it lists all the qualities of a Brahman. And so there, of course, a Brahmana is not going to go to war. Brahmana says, the quality, you know what it says? Be gentle, but be assertive. Gentle doesn't mean saying, oh, everything is okay, this is good. Not like that. You be gentle, say it gently, priyam vada, but satyam vada also. You have to be assertive. where things have to be said which may not be convenient to people, do that for a Brahmana. So here the diets and all can be different for a Kshatriya, right? The aharas also we talked about. In the 17th chapter we saw aharas, satvika priyaha, rasya snigdaha, like that we saw. So aharam also is different. Satvika buddhi requires a particular type of food intake. So therefore, for a Brahmana karma, there is no question of meat. Really, meat doesn't even come into the picture. It doesn't come into the picture. So you should ask, somebody asks you, what does Krishna say? Can Hindus consume meat or not? Suppose they ask you this question. How will you answer it? You can say, there are gunas, there are different types of people. The society has supported by people of 4 types. 4 pillars are there. And you can tell them like this: knowledge producers, then administrators, and the governors. Okay. And then commerce is coming next, business. And then finally, service providers. Okay. And the people who are governing, protecting, securing the country, they can consume it. Like that, we should talk so that it makes sense. There is no broad advice given. So, anyway, Kshatram karma swabhavajam. So, this is the natural, these are the natural attributes of a Kshatriya. Let's look at the translation. Valor, self-confidence, self-confidence, willpower. Valor, self-confidence, willpower, resourcefulness, comma, not running away from conflict, giving, and overlordship or leadership. Overlordship. This ability to take charge, that is the main. Overlordship, leadership. Are the naturally born duties and disposition of a Kshatriya. Naturally born duties and disposition. Because yuddhe cha api apalayanam is this one, duty. And then some things like shauryam, etc., attributes. So, duties and disposition of a Kshatriya.
In Krishna, sometimes is referred to as Ranchod. He runs away from war because of Jarasandha or something.
Ranchod.
Yeah.
Gujarat and Rajasthan area, they do. Ranchod Das, Ranchod.
Ranchod. Valor, self-confidence, willpower, resourcefulness, not running away from conflict, giving, and overlordship or leadership are the naturally born duties and disposition of a Kshatriya. See, I remember one thing. Project manager. I was the project manager in some a community project, not the company project. And I was doing something, some project we were doing. Some conflicting situation came up. And I didn't respond. I did not act on it. Yes, 1 day happened, 2 days happened. Somebody sent me a note, I remember still. He said, you are the project manager. We are waiting for you to decide. And you're delaying, he said. This word he said, I still remember, it's still there in my head. And then it shook me up. I said, yes. If they're looking upon me as a leader, say something. How do you resolve it? It's a conflict. If nobody can resolve it, somebody has to say, okay, let's take this move. Let's decide and move on. Like that, you have to say, clock is ticking. Deadline is coming up. Event is this date. Something like that, So that's the thing. Leadership means you have to have all the qualities, or at least seek help from others to say, okay, I don't know how to do this. How do you have advisors, good advisors? Anyway, that's that. Next shloka. Krishi Gaurakshya Vanijyam
Krishi Gaurakshya Vanigyam
Vaishyakarma Swabhavajam
Vaishyakarma Swabhavajam
Paricharyatmakam Karma
Paricharyatmaka Karma
Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam.
Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam.
Yeah. So Krishna is using the word Swabhavajam everywhere. All 4 places he has used the word Swabhavajam. So naturally occurring. Even in 41 he has used the word Swabhava. So these are the natural traits of the person being described, of the particular type of activity being described. So now, first line is about this Vanijyam, Vaishya Karma, commerce, trade, business, economy, moving, making the things move in a society. That is all Vanijyam. Bringing raw materials, production, manufacturing, supplying products, shipping products, logistics, all that. Some people love to do that. And so that is the Vaishya Karma. Somebody has to do that. The Kshatriya can't be worried about it. Can't be worried about it. Because his job is to secure the country. His eyes must be there. Security of the community, of the state, city, whatever. So his eyes must be there. So whatever is needed, the other people have to support the Kshatriya. And so Krishi, agriculture, and then it can include farming, animal husbandry and all that, but Gaurakshyam is coming. So animal husbandry, good. Gaurakshyam, separate activity, which is the protection of cattle. Not just cows, but all animals that are used in the progress of a country, running of a country. Gaurakshyam, Vanijyam. Vanijyam is commerce, trade. And so the whole world of finance, economic activity. Some people like that. Some people love numbers. They are very good at numbers. They can assess things and then do all this profit loss and what is good for the economy, everything they know. So that's the kind of job here. And so, is defense important or economy important for the country? If you say, you can't say one is more important. Both are important. Both are very important. Defense. India was traditionally poor in defense in the post-independence. We had great giants. We had Chanakya, we had Chandragupta, we had Ashoka, we had Rana Pratap, we had all this Shivaji Maharaj, we had Raja Cholan and all. Just India was just shining. Now we have to come up with a plan how to make India shine. Okay, previously itself it was shining. Now we have lost all that completely. Trying to secure, we don't even know how to secure our borders. We're so shy about acting. Okay, slowly, hopefully with all the economy. Economy also, India is demonstrated resilience. Okay, so that's leadership. That's leadership. So hope that economy, defense also will pick up, etc. And so it's all connected. Everything is connected to each other. Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam. This kind of karma is called Vaishya Karma. There's no need to translate the word Vaishya. Vaishya is Vaishya, that's it. Who does all these kinds of activities is called a Vaishya. Next is what? Shudrasya api swabhavajam. And then there is another karma called Shudra karma. And what type of karma it is? Paricharyatmakam karma. Paricharyatmakam. Parichara. So doing things that are told to do. Doing things. Paricharyatmakam, of the nature of just doing what is required to be done, what is told to be done at any given moment. And so, minimal thinking involved. You just have to do. Like even when college graduates join companies, those people are not given any responsibility. No responsibility. They're given a series of activities. You come in the morning, 8 o'clock, you do this, report to that person, take up these things, take this file, and then look at all these lights, and then make sure these lights are green, this is red, and then make a note, and then everything that is not green, you make it green. Depending on the job, this is what the list is. And then at the end of the day, write what you did. Even that sometimes they're not asked to do, because writing requires skill, you know. And this boy or girl may not know how to write properly. So just make a list of things. And there are people watching. Yeah, this is fine. Everything is done. So this is how he learns. He climbs through the ladder by learning, doing all mundane activities, mundane important activities. He is very good at doing what is to be done. And sometimes they don't know. They may do some mistakes. Even though it's all recipes given, mistakes can be done. So correcting the mistakes, correcting the thought process. So like that, the guy, so that is, you can call that as a Shudra karma in a company. You have to do. Somebody must be there to do all these things. So, Paricharyatmakam karma, where decision making is not involved. This young graduate does not have to make any decisions. You just follow this. If something is not there, oh, the room is locked. I could not enter the room. Oh, okay, all right. So you go to that person, ask the keys, open the door, return the keys, then go back, then go get the keys, then lock the door. So like the very specific advice has to be given. Okay, that he can follow. So, Paricharyatmakam karma, very important. Shudrasyapi swabhavajam. All these 4 types of karma are essential everywhere. In a family, it is there. In a temple, it is required. In an ashram, it is required. In a community, it is required. In a restaurant, it is required. In a city, it is required. Everywhere, it's required. These are the 4 pillars. Okay. So, I remember one thing. See, generally, see, in India, when we grow up, when we are guests in some place, they won't allow you to wash your plates, and they won't allow you to do those kinds of things. You know, once you just eat and then you drop, just walk away from there. Just walk away from there. That's it. It's used to. In many places, that's a tradition, and they won't allow you. The host will not allow you to just get up with your plate in the hand. That's a tradition. Then you go to America. What happens? It's totally opposite. It's opposite. Wherever it's completely opposite. And so you have to wash your own plate. You have to go, whatever trash is there, you have to put it in the trash. Okay, that's how it is. Self-help. You have to get your own food also. Don't sit and then expect somebody to come and serve. You have to get your own food. So what happened once in the temple, I was just sitting after a class or something, and some friend had come, and their parents are visited from India. And so we are supposed to take the trash and put it there. And they didn't know that. They didn't know. Seniors from India will not know that. And so they have to be, somebody has to help them. So suddenly it struck me. That contrast struck me. Until then, it did not strike me. It struck me. And especially, this is a temple. And we got talking, and then it struck me. So many things struck me that day. These temples in America are all built by the hands of the Hindus living in America. Unlike in India, you enter a temple, it's all huge temple. You don't know who built it, You don't know how it's maintained. You don't know what's happening. No history. We don't even know the history of the temples. That's how old it is. Coimbatore, this Patishwarar temple is there. Shiva temple, huge it is. Rukminiji lives just a stone's throw from there. And it's so huge, they say it is 1,000 plus years old. Karigala Shoyan, 1,500 years ago, I think. That's it. Nothing. We have no idea how these things were constructed. And we're all blessed with all these things. So the contrast, suddenly it all came to me. Hey, we are used to going to temples where somebody is doing something. But here a temple, no, somebody is doing something. You have to do something here. You have to ask, what can I do? What seva can I do here? Can I clean this place? It's messy here. Where is the broom? Tell me. Can I do it? That's the way we should go here. No, we don't do that in our temples here. And so, every place, anywhere in the world, Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam also required. I think the oldest temple in America is Hindu temple. I think it's in
New York. New York.
Vedanta temple,
Pittsburgh,
right?
Venkateshwara temple, Pittsburgh.
New York.
the first temple.
No. Not
Flushing.
that what
Flushing.
Haraprasad ji, what he's saying is correct. Vedanta Society, their temple is the number one temple. I think so. Check it out. Check it out.
There is one in Bridgewater, Venkateshwara temple.
Okay. It could be San Francisco also. Vedanta Society was active in California. So one of those temples, I think, is number one.
New York is before California.
Okay. New York is before California. All right. So that's all 100 years old to 110 years old, maximum 1905, that area. Okay. Just after
Swami Vivekananda started it 1905.
Correct. So let's translate the shloka. Agriculture, tending cattle, and commerce See, if you ask the question, what is the oldest temple in India? You won't have answers like you are giving. Because this is only recent history, 100-year history. What is the oldest temple in India means what? Yeah, I don't think even ChatGPT will say, it will keep on circling because ChatGPT. So anyway, agriculture, tending cattle and commerce are the natural duties of a Vaishya. Full stop.
Oldest temple in India, it says Mundeshwari temple located in Kimur district in Bihar. It established in 108 AD.
Okay. Thank you. We'll discuss.
Lord Shiva.
Uttarakosamangai and Ramnad.
Guys, wait. Just wait. The natural duty of a Shudra is in the form of service. The natural duty of a Shudra is in the form of a service. Agriculture, tending cattle, and commerce are the natural duties of a Vaishya. Full stop. The natural duty of a Shudra is in the form of service. So, we will continue the discussion in our satsang. And last time in the satsang, there was some discussion about the impending closure of the Bhagavad Gita course. And so there was a desire expressed. To meet somewhere as a group. We've never met. And so as an entire group. So that discussion was there. We are going to discuss that in the satsang. So those who are interested, for a few minutes, stay back. And then you can meet. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.